Come on. Welcome to episode 61 of the SNLF podcast. And yes, Trev is back this evening. So Gaz has got less work to do, and he's his usual underprepared self, arriving about 2 minutes ago before we actually started to go live. Those of you watching live on Wednesday but listening on Thursday, Mike's not with us. He's going to be with us a little bit later. He's not still stuck in Foggy Great Yarmouth. He did actually manage to make it back home before the working week began. But the other two usual suspects are here this evening. The Sussex stat man, Chris, is in the right-hand corner. How are you, sir?
Not so bad to yourself.
Not too bad, not too bad. Nice to be back after a week's break. And in the bottom left-hand corner, long time no see, Gaz, as early as this time last night.
This time last night, and I was getting ready to go to bed.
You were, yeah. You didn't reply to any message, did you?
No,
this morning.
I was done in yesterday. I was up nice and early. I was up at Bromley Football Club at 7:30 yesterday morning. Which, for anyone that doesn't know, from Worthing in the traffic is probably, I left my house about 5:45, I think. So,
ooh. Yeah, not an easy journey, is it? But I see old Omar sharing the naked barista bags.
Yeah, good lad, eh? There's a few of them. Old Michael Cheek shared something yesterday. A few of the other boys as well. It was great.
I mean, of all the players you could have got, why not Nicky Kabamba?
Do you know what? It didn't stand out, and I don't think he had one. But look, Omar, what a guy he is. 40,000 followers on Instagram, sticking a video up on with our coffee. I did give him that bag of coffee free of charge, so there we go.
I bet he loved that. Didn't he? Anyway, talking of followers, lots of followers, and not just the three of us sitting around the screen this evening. Our special guest in the top right-hand corner, as he sits from me, and obviously you won't see that if you're listening. We're joined this evening by Ringmer AFC's manager, Tommy Haddon. Tommy, how are you?
I'm very well. Thanks for having me on. Very excited to be here.
Thanks very much for giving up your time and joining us this evening. I'm going to pass straight over to Gaz because he's got all the questions ready, and it means my voice can have a bit of a rest as it does so much talking through the evening as it does.
Good. All right, looking forward to it, Gaz. Right. Here we go then.
Right, here we go. Before I started, about half an hour ago, I was trying to get my daughter to sleep. I had a quick check on the old TikTok. We're on 1,100. We're on 1,142, and you're on 1,116. So we're only just winning. When you surpass, will you still remember us? Will you still want to come on, or will you forget about us as little people?
Nah, yeah, of course. Look. I get a lot of stick for my TikToks. I have to say, a lot of abuse from Oppo and managers and stuff like that. But also get a lot of love for it. Which, look, I'll still remember you, Gareth. Don't you worry. I'll still remember. I'll give you a shout out from time to time.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Jokes aside, though, it does show how much non-league football has changed, and that it's actually, it's actually getting recognition now. Because there's a few people that follow you. Is it Coach Dean as well? I think I've seen him on there. You had a little competition.
He started, I think, a similar time to me. I mean, I don't even know who he is. Again, he wouldn't know who I was either, so that's why. And then I think we just sort of started things at the same time, I think, and we've both supported each other on our journey. So it's been good.
Wicked. Look, I'm gonna go all the way back and try and get a little bit about your playing career, a little bit about your management career and where you are now. We got about 20-25 minutes to avoid making this into a marathon episode. So, for anyone who doesn't know you yet, who is Tommy Haddon?
I am a bricklayer from originally from Eastbourne, but I live in Seaford now. So
Right. Sorry, Chris.
Let's see. It's some ring already, big time now. Just been a simple guy. Grew up in Eastbourne, lived in Belgium for a big period of my life before moving back to England to finish my school. Didn't enjoy school. Absolutely hated it, to be honest. I had to relearn English at like 10, 11, so it was really hard work. And just fell into sort of bricklaying, and I absolutely love brick. I mean, much as I love football, I actually do really love bricklaying as well. I genuinely enjoy going to work with the lads and being on site. It's such good fun. So I'm just there. I am doing what I do. Run my own business. Married, wife, 2 kids. A really supportive wife who understands that this. Look, I need this. Probably need it as well, not to annoy her too much as well, because me being around the house, if I didn't have football or something like that, I think she'd probably kill me. So I need to get out and let off some energy. So yeah, fell into sort of football at sort of really, I didn't really start playing. I didn't realise there was grassroots until I was like 17, 18.
Yeah. What were you doing up until?
I'm gonna get some stick here. I was a skateboarder, so I just skateboarded with mates, and yeah, I had long hair, believe it or not. Had the classic, skateboarder look. And then my cousin.
I really can't.
I know. Yeah, it's mad now, isn't it? Yeah, mad now. And then my cousin just, who's a bit, well, he's not my second cousin, he's like my dad's cousin, asked me, like, do you want to come play in a football team in local Eastbourne, in Hampden Park? There, I don't know, Hampden Park with the pitches all down there. I just said, do you want to come and play football? Yeah. Oh yeah, you know it really well, Chris, right? The Hampden Park said, do you want to come play for a team called White Knight? Do you want to come and play? And I ended up staying there for 10 years, making over like, so it must be 200 and something plus appearances for them, and I loved it. Had loads of mates play for them, and oh, you're a big T. Yeah, there's Tyrese. Yeah, look, I loved every minute of it, and I guess that's why I've got a burning passion for football still now, kind of, and I haven't burnt out from it because I started really late, right? I started really late to the show, and I've enjoyed every minute, and I played there for like 10, and then a couple of other little Eastbourne teams before moving to Montpellier Villa in Brighton. When I moved to Brighton, I met my wife when I was 29, 30, and then I moved to Brighton with her and played for Montpellier Villa. I literally just Googled local teams in Brighton, and Montpellier Villa picked up first. I went training with them like literally the next night, and I stayed there for 4 or 5 years, and then Ditchling, and then now Ringmer. And I started managing at Montpellier Villa in the third team.
Yeah, wicked. Did you know what? You've actually answered questions 1, 2, and 3 of what I had. So here we go. What kind of player were you?
I'm a much better manager than I was player, I have to say. I wasn't. I was. I don't know. People who play with me probably would say that he tried hard. I guess I'd like to think that he tried hard. I played on the wing when I was learning my trade, sort of thing, and then I played up front for sort of the last 10 years of it. Probably my best period at Montpellier Villa. A couple of seasons at White Knight were good, but my best at Montpellier Villa, where I like an old centre forward target man, but I had a bit of pace, but target man. I just used to shoot. To be honest, I used to shoot from anywhere really, and hope that it goes in. And that was it really.
Yeah. What was your best moment as a player, bud?
Oh, as a player, so it kind of ties in with player manager though. I was player manager for Ditchling. I was in goal because do you know Bacco, who plays for Worthing United? He was signed for us, but he was cup tied and
goalkeeper, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's it. He was cup tied, and so I went in goal for that season, and we won Division 1 in Mid Sussex, and we also won the cup as well that year, and it was absolutely epic. It was like being in goal as a manager. It was just so much fun. But as a player, probably had a good couple of spells at Montpellier Villa where I scored a lot of goals and had a good bunch of lads. Again, I was a manager, but I'd only just started my journey then as a manager, and had a good bunch of lads, and we won a few divisions and some playoffs and cups, and it was great fun. Loved every minute.
Excellent. I've just seen a comment come through from Will. There you go. Better
striker for sure. Cheers, Will. Thanks, mate. Well, I made my debut this season, didn't I? At Chelsea away, so in goal. So yeah. 41 years old.
I think for me that shows any player that comes in and plays for you, though, that surely that shows you played in goal, you've played on the wing, you've played as a centre forward. I'm guessing at some point you feel that with your height you're filled in at centre half at some point, surely.
I did have to, a couple of seasons centre half at Montpellier Villa,
yeah. There's not one. What's good is there's not one position on the pitch that you can't say I haven't played, and if you tell your centre forward to play centre half, you say I've done it. Shut up, get on with it. All right.
What does that say about me as a player, though? That's the only thing, Gareth.
no comment. What pushed you into management, mate? Because that's where we are now.
I don't know. I didn't really ever think that I was going to be a manager. I've said it before on stuff that I do and other people I talked to. I didn't think I was going to be a gaffer or a manager. I really didn't ever think about it. and then I got bombed from the first team at Montpellier Villa by a gaffer, and into the second team, and then I kind of fell out with the second team guy, who's actually I actually talked to a little bit now. Actually, Bill, that was at Worthing. Didn't really. I don't know. I kind of wanted different things, and he wanted different things. So then went to the third team. Ended up playing the third team for the last 9 games of the season, and then their gaffer left, and Gary Police, who is heavily involved in Montpellier Villa, just said to me, "Do you want to take the third team job because he's leaving?" And I just said, "I haven't really thought about it. I guess so. I'll do it. I was 30 years old. I guess I'd do it." And then I absolutely loved it. Like, I met John Hart the season after. He got bombed from the second team into the third team with us at Montpellier Villa. I was a year deep as a gaffer by then, and then we've just been together ever since. And it's been a hell of a journey. And there's been highs and lows. There's been some tough points. There's been some good points. There's been some great points. And then we've grown our management team now to there's 5 of us now. I think Jamie Buckett's joined us recently from Seaford. Ollie Gibson, who has been at Ringmer a very long time and was gaffer of the old Ringmer and the new Ringmer actually, and left for a year or two until I came in. And then Leon Morris, who I played with, he was a goalie. I played with him for 10 years, and he's now joined as goalkeeper coach. And then, we just built our management team from there. And I think Ditchton was a good period. That's when I got my first job as a first team gaffer and ran the whole club, ran the whole thing. And that's when I understood everything that goes on as a gaffer, right? Off the pitch stuff, how important all that is, and building your club and your reputation. And took them to nearly the Prem, but couldn't get there because we didn't have the ground. So Ringmer became available, and it was always a no-brainer when that was offered to us. I was ecstatic. I knew it was the right move. Mr. McCaffrey, hello.
Evening, Tommy. How are you, pal?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, how's the boy doing?
We haven't got to that bit.
Oh, right.
He has messaged, actually. He did stick a message on here a minute ago, actually. Yeah. We'll talk about him in a minute, won't we?
Yeah, we'll talk about him.
I've got to
at the end about it, mate.
Yeah. There he is.
You've answered another one of my questions. You answered another one of my questions of how did the Ringwood job come about, so don't worry about that. When you arrived, what did you want to change or improve at Ringmer?
That's a great question. What did I want to change and improve? Mentality. I think that's really important at a football club, right? Mentality and also that I was available to them if they need me as a gaffer and on and off the pitch. Work rate was key for me and Hart. Understanding our ethos of how we want to do things, playing a certain way. I don't think it's any secret that people know we do play a certain way, and we've always said that. And they've been losing a lot of games when I joined. I guess that's quite common for a manager when you join a club. You normally join, don't you, 9 times out of 10, because the club's not been doing very well. So you've got to rebuild that confidence on the pitch and off the pitch with the people around you. So so it was just about getting in there and setting that down. I mean, there was so much talent there. I mean, the first training session, I remember standing in front of it was at least 80 people at the first pre-season training session. I stood there, and I know a few of the lads through reputation, and I knew a few of the lads that come with me from my previous club, Ditchling, to Ringmer. But it was about understanding that everyone had opportunity, but also trying to find that 22, 25 to work with regularly was a real tough for me and Hart and the other managers at the time. That some are still there, some aren't. But just trying to narrow that down to a squad was really difficult. But I knew it was the right place as soon as we got offered the job, because the facilities there and the club itself is fantastically well run.
Yeah, I think we've all been, and we'll all agree, we'll all testify to that as well.
Yeah.
What excites you about the most about the club right now?
What excites me about the club right now? Where we are, we're in a great place right now. Not just the first team. We've got to remember that Ringmer's a very big club, right? There's 4 senior teams, there's 2 under 18 teams. I think there's 300 and something players signed on at the club. That's just the senior setup with the Masters football and the Vets football. But then you've got all the other under 18s ladies, and they're doing really well in the ladies teams. I think it's just a great place to be. I think the buzz around the club, the buzz around the clubhouse, the atmosphere. It's just a nice place to come play football and enjoy yourself. You're gonna fit in. There's no us and them. we do try and mingle as much as we can, but it's quite hard when you've got that many players. Obviously, don't all train on the same day. We train 1s and 2s on a Tuesday, and then the 3s and 4s train tomorrow night. But it's just a good place to be. There's a good vibe. Obviously, the facilities, like I say, are fantastic. It's a good place to play football. You're well looked after off the pitch. The facilities are never left. If there's any problems, the committee are on it. It's repaired. It's done straight away. It's looked after. And I think people see that, right? And when people see that, they understand they're going to be looked after as well.
Yeah, no. Do you know what? I obviously hadn't been to Ringler up until we came and filmed the
a lot of people haven't
film last year, and I was impressed, to be fair. And you're almost like a sleeping giant in that mid Sussex to get up to step 6. So it's well deserved. So look, let's move on from Ringler. Let's move on to Mind of a Gaffer.
I like this. I like this.
What made you want to start creating content?
I don't know. I guess it was you've got to remember how far me and Hart have come and how far I've come as a gaffer, right? We started off, believe it or not, there's probably people watching this don't even know there's divisions and divisions below this, right? Where we started from. It was Div 5 South football, right? I mean, that's a long way away. I've come so far into where we are. I wanted then to taking the first ball we got here. He likes talking. He does like talking. I do, John Hart. Thank you. Look, we've come so far and into non-league football. The first time into non-league football. What we got now? God, good to see you guys. To go into non-league football, I wanted to. It was always once we got to a certain point of football, which was Championship, Mid Sussex Championship. I knew that the non-league was close, and I wanted to get there, but desperately. We both wanted to get there. Ringwell's the right club, like I say. And then when we got there, I wanted to document it. I just wanted to document my journey. I don't know why, just in case in the future, whenever I'm hopefully many years from now, I look back and look at what we achieved, hopefully, and I just wanted to see if anyone else was interested and anyone else wanted to, watch. And I can't believe the amount of people that tune in now and watch stuff. It blows my mind. It's incredible because I do get a lot of stick. I knew I'd get stick. I knew I'd get abuse. I knew I'd get, there's a team the other week that turned up and before it even started playing, they already mentioned it and said a few things. And it just gives me the fuel that I need to go, come on then, I'm ready for this. I'm a thick-skinned person. I don't really care what people think about me, really. I don't really care. I care what my management staff think about me, management team. I care what they say about me, but I'm not bothered by what other people think. If they don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But they are watching it because they like to slag it off. So they're doing me a favour anyway. So I don't really mind.
All comments help the algorithm.
I love the interaction of it.
All comments help the algorithm. Help you get your content out there.
Well, yeah, again, there is that, right?
I think it's brilliant, Tommy. It's absolutely funny as anything. I love it.
Right. I'm going to do one more, give it to the guys, and then come back to me afterwards, all right? What was one thing you wish more people understood about non-league football?
Great question. Really good. What do I... The time, not just the time that a manager myself puts in, but the time that everybody at the club puts in. The time that everybody... I mean... Just for instance, me, my phone in my hand, talking to people is relentless, right? And then you've got the coaching lads that do all their stuff, the coaching time it takes to plan a training session. Not just that, the volunteers that give up their time to stand, whether it be on ticket gate or in a car park, or those people, the people that run a club. Okay, let's for instance go back to that question of Mind of a Gaffer. You see Mind of a Gaffer as me, the manager at Ringler, right? All those people behind that make that happen on a match day. I wish you could see them all because it's, as you guys know, you're in it, you see it as well, right? It's incredible, right? That for me, that there's so many people I could stand and shout out. Those guys are way more important than a lot of people realise, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Trev?
Oh, I've only got a couple for you, Tommy, because I wanted to keep quiet and let Gaz have his moment in the spotlight again. What's the one thing that's really surprised you about Step 6 that you didn't quite expect when you won promotion last year?
The intensity. Easy question. The intensity. I can't. I knew the games would come thick and fast, but that opening period of what is it, 2.5 months, 2 months, where it's just Saturday, Tuesday, is just, you know, in the Mid Sussex League, you've had Saturday, or sometimes even Saturday break. Saturday, you've got time to train and relax and build to things. Where you were going Saturday, Tuesday, we didn't train for like 12 weeks, Trev. We didn't train for 12 weeks because we couldn't. It's fully booked, right? Until that second 3G goes in down the side, which is hopefully going to be done by the end of August. When that goes in, we can then hopefully open a slot up to train on a Thursday for the first team boys. But that whole not training for that period, it stresses us out a little bit because we love to go to training sessions. We've got, as you know, we've got our analytic guys who assess all our games and assess all our opposition and how we do things, and they give us stuff to work on at training, or Hart and the boys stuff to work on at training. And we had 12 weeks where we couldn't get onto the training pitch. You know, we really couldn't. And that was so frustrating. But also, I loved the intensity of it because it was constantly a challenge, right? Next one. And you were bouncing along. And yeah, it was good, but it was really, really intense. That's probably the thing I found the most about stepping up to this level.
Yeah, I mean, it must be quite difficult to be able to go from, like you say, you know, watching the Mid Sussex last year, which we didn't take as much notice of as we have done this year, including them. You know, as you say, you go a Saturday without a game, you know, and then you play, and then you may have another Saturday off, and then you come into this, and like you say, you were banging Saturday, Tuesday, and, you know, not just for yourself as well, the players are used to just that Saturday. You throw the extra games in as well, and it's their mentality and everything else that has to change as well, doesn't it, with it?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of those lads have come with me on the journey, right? You know, my captain, as you know him well, don't you, Trev? Or you know him, Trev, from previous. Charlie, I mean, he's been with me like 8 years. 8 years on the same journey together. And some of these lads have been with me 3, 4, 5 years now. And we only did Saturdays. And sometimes in the Mid Sussex, you'd have a period, especially like February onwards, where you might only play one game a month. And then it's mad. Like you're trying to go for a title and build momentum. Whereas here, it's the other way. It's really intense for a quick period. And the lads had to get used to that. And we had to also manage the squad, right? Because the squad was, although it was built for Mid-Sussex football, on the Tuesday, we had a nice session where we were a bit more relaxed maybe. But where we had games Saturday, Tuesday, we had to try and rotate a little bit. And that's why we changed things really early all the time. We tried to figure out how we could protect the lads the most, right? Because we didn't want burnout for them, and understanding this level. I think now we understand it more. We now know next season, hopefully if we still remain in the division, is that we can build again and have that better experience, right? And we understand it better.
I've just got a Ryan's question for you there, Tommy, as well. He's been out for a bit, but you get some unnecessary stick on that. Does it bother you?
No, as I said, Ryan, look, it really doesn't. I'm a fixed. As I said before, right, I'm a bricklayer. Now, a bricklayer is a lot like a football team. Like you spend all day with a group of lads, and it's just constant all day. I mean, I am mainly involved in that heavily, quite a lot, obviously.
You just spend a day with a group of bricks.
Well, and that. It's sometimes like talking to a brick, some of the humour they have. But yeah, look, it's very similar in that sense, is that it's all day banter. I'm used to it. I've grown up with it. I've been a builder since I was 15 years old. I walked into the building game. That's a long time. And you get thick-skinned. You understand that really it's only words. It's not going to hurt you. As long as you understand it and process it in the way you want to. And normally if people are talking about you or giving you abuse, it's because you're doing something either they're jealous of, or you're doing something that's got their attention. And 9 times out of 10, really, I just smile and wave. I say this all the time. I just smile and wave. It makes me laugh. I enjoy it. I enjoy the banter. It can go too far sometimes. It's been a couple of instances this season, but I just let them get on with it. And at the end of the day, I go home to my wife and kids and I give them a hug, and when you walk through the door, it's all forgotten about, isn't it? And then you go back to work Monday morning, we do it all again. So Ryan, to be honest, buddy, I'm not bothered. As long as they're not hurting my family or hurting me personally, I don't really mind any of that sort of stuff, to be honest.
Okay. And the other one I've got is, obviously you were in step 7 last year and made a step up on that. How much of an eye do you keep on what's going on behind you as well as in front of you?
All the time. I'm straight home, have a cup of tea, see the family, and then Sunday morning when I'm at breakfast, I go through full time. I go through Twitter, I see who's played, or X as we call it, sorry now. Go through who's played, who started, who scored, and I'm always checking divisions. I think you have to be. Again, I've said it before, there's lots of players down there that are absolute gems. You just got to go and get them. You just got to find them and bring them through. And I'm telling you, there's players down there to be had.
I might have to call you the Wizard's Apprentice with the amount of stuff you're looking at, because you're looking exactly the same as what I do, although I might be just edging it a little bit more, but who knows?
I do love it. I do love scrolling through that full-time page and clicking. I go right back down to Division 5 and 6 and look through it all. I go look through it all again. I love it. I absolutely love it on Sunday morning.
Have you got to the point where
I ain't got that much time.
Have you got to the point where you buy the non-league paper every Sunday? Yeah.
I haven't got to that point yet, actually. No, I haven't got. I can't read very well, Gareth. So it's pretty pointless, really, isn't it? I'm more of a visual learner, you know.
Guys, back to you,
Chris.
Hey up, Tommy. All right.
Hello.
Wanted to say hello. Well, hello. Wanted to say what you got in my head then. I just wanted to say what a good job you've been doing. What a good job you've been doing. Like you said, you referenced that difficult start, but things have really sort of turned around for you, and you've only lost 2 of the last 9. Is there anything in particular you put that down to, like any changes you've made or any players who've come?
Yeah, I think my coaches deserve all the credit they get. Right, I was involved in training, and I still am involved in training. But when I was back, just me and Hart, I used to take training all the time. I was intense. I was with it. I am still at training and involved in it. But my coaches and the analytic guy Charlie, they'll talk about this, that, and break games down or watch bits where we've done good stuff and stuff where we haven't done good, and they'll look at it and they'll go, I think we should work on this. Or the Oppo this week is, for instance, a team where there's an area we can target, Chris, and we'll go to training and they'll set, all right, we'll do an activator and a couple of little drills to get us going, and then they'll set up phase work or some shape work, and it will involve what we're going to play on, who we're going to play, right, or what we're working on. And them guys, John Hart, Ollie Gibson, Jamie Buckett, Leon Morris, they're just absolutely unbelievable. They work so hard to get us where we are now, and they deserve the credit as well. I know I sit here and I wear the badge and it's my face, but it doesn't work without everybody else around it, right? They're so important, and you have to remember that, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am. And same for the players, you know, them lads that they've bought into it. They've understood what we want from them. They understand what we're trying to do, and they've just got belief about it. And you have to earn their respect, right? First and foremost, you have to earn the respect of the players, and then they'll respect you. And once they respect you, they'll then work hard for you, won't they, right? And I've always been that person that I'll try and gain their respect first. And I think after the Worthing United games, that was a really tough period where I had to stand up in front of cameras after them defeats and stand there, and you know, I wanted to say things I couldn't, and had to, and because I'm not that person. And we went away in private, we talked about it, and we set a plan. And since then, I think we've been absolutely excellent. To be honest, I think we've worked really hard for each other. The squad's got a unity about it. I think that's shown this week with what's happened at East Preston at the weekend. I think you only can see the group is massively in it together. There's not one person going a different direction, and that's really important to me as well. That the squad is fully committed to each other, and they are. That's why we are where we are.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think that Worthing United game, I mean, that came in a run where you look at the table now and it was 4 of the top 5. You know, and that must have felt like hell at the time, but you know, like you said, since then you've been exemplary. So well done.
What did we lose? 6 in a row, wasn't it, or something like that, Chris? Was it something like that? And 6.
It was definitely 4. I think there might have been a draw thrown in.
5.
Oh yeah, there was a draw. Yeah, there was a draw at Selsey, wasn't there, thrown in? Was that in between that lot? And that was really, it was really tough. And there was nights where, excuse me, you lose a bit of sleep. And I mean, you know, I'm sure you guys are similar. I just think about it all the time. I go to work, I think about football. I go to work, I go home, think about football. And I'm sure I'm not the only person sitting here listening to this. Is exactly the same, right? And when you're in that run of not winning, or if things aren't going your way, I'm not one to bang the same drum. You've got to look at something that might help, the 1%, right? The little extra bits we can do, the little stuff that hopefully will give us that edge. And I think we found that with the certain bits, and that's why we've improved, like you said a minute ago. And we're on this little run where we're doing all right. We're doing us, and we're doing okay.
Sorry guys, I think it was 4, because I've got the Loxwood game that preceded the Worthing one.
Worthing United in the Cup, Worthing United in the League, Billingshurst, Goldall Main.
Not cups. No one cares about cups.
You don't.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm assuming Chris has finished.
Tommy, how you doing, mate? Obviously,
I'm very well.
We've had a lot of chats before, and great people at the club. shout out to people like Will and that, what he's done with the media and everything so far, growing that hutch,
Absolutely.
everyone part behind the scenes. But I'm going to ask you a controversial question, if that's all right.
Oh, unlike you, yeah. Go on then.
You had to pick a five-a-side team from your league outside of your players. Who are you picking?
For God's sake, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to do this?
We've done so much already. Do you know what I mean?
Well, goalkeeper. I'll go with Bacco then, because I know Bacco well. So that's an easy one. He's an old ex-keeper of mine, so I'll go Bacco. That's nice and simple.
And you've got to name the club that they're from.
Oh, he's at Worthing United now. Of course, he was with me for a long time. He's at Worthing United now. I love Bacco. He's a good lad. He's a loony. He's an absolute loony. And he won't mind me saying that, but he's a good man. He's a good goalkeeper as well in his day. Very good. I'm not. God, this is really. Why do you have to do? Because this is just going to cause problems, Mike. And the only reason you're doing it is to stir the pot, isn't it? There's, centre backs. There's a few centre backs I like. There's a few centre backs I like. I like George Holman at Jarvis Brook. I think he's a leader. I think he's dragged that club. Yeah, he's a really good player, really good guy as well. When you talk to him, Dom obviously gone in there now, manager I know really well, and I think they'll suit each other. I think he's What's Will put? All the Worthing United. I didn't see that. All the Worthing, yeah. I mean, they had some good players in there. They were Dean Sherwood. I heard a lot about Dean Sherwood when I was in the Prem, and people talking about him, and I wanted to see what he was like. And yeah, he was a brilliant. Alex Masters, I really heard a lot about him as well. I wanted to see what he was like at Mile Oak, and I was really impressed with him when he played against us. He's just full of energy, right? Like everywhere.
Yeah, he's a problem.
He is a problem. Yeah, he's a good problem to have. He's a good problem. He's full of energy in that. Zion or Zion McLeod, I don't know how you say his first name, but again, I heard about him a lot, and I was well impressed with the first. Obviously, Saturday we didn't get to see him much, but the first time we played him at our place, as I said many a time on video and an interview with Will, he didn't move, but he scored 3 goals, and they were outrageous. Just all power finishes, right?
He's a cut above that level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a goal scorer.
But yeah,
is that it? Is that 6? Is that 6?
Yeah, that's enough. I like to put you on the spot, Tommy. You're doing
an cheers. Thanks so much.
That club, a club that is gonna definitely go big places. The people we got behind the scenes driving off, and one of the best bars at that standard as well, overlooking the pitch, beautiful food. Yeah. Doing great things. Good luck to everyone at Ringmer. Great club.
Thank you. Yeah, right. Michelle and Sean run the bar. Excellent. Really good.
Yeah. 2 more things. Who's Alison?
Alison?
Yeah, she's Alison. She's commented, mate, on Instagram. So you've always had a lot to say, Tom.
That's my mother, who's very supportive. My mum. Yeah, I get my strength from my mother. She's a very strong woman, is my mum, and that's where I get it from. Thanks, mum.
Sorry, I didn't want to bring that up, but it was a comment on Instagram.
Yeah, cheers, Gareth.
That's all right.
Thanks, buddy.
Just quickly, finally, before we wrap up, I just want to mention Tyrese White Oak, who
absolutely,
who sadly suffered what could be a career-ending injury on Saturday. And it's a proper reminder of how brutal the game can be at any level, but let alone this level. Lads who are playing for the love of football, not just the money. There is a GoFundMe set up to support Tyrese during his recovery. So if anyone's able to help in any way, we'll share the link out on X tomorrow. We'll share it out on Instagram. We'll all share it around. Look, we just want to say, as the SNLF, we wish him all the best in his recovery. Hopefully, he'll get over it and can crack back on again. Have you got any update about Tyrese? Is there any?
Yeah, so Tyrese came home. Yesterday afternoon, back to his house. He was in Worthing until that point, and he lives in Eastbourne, so he's gone back to his house. Luckily, I spoke to him today, and I spoke to him yesterday, and he's gone back there, so it's just a bit of comfort. Look, he wasn't. Yeah, it was awful, right? You don't want to see a 19-year-old. You don't want to see any player like that, but a 19-year-old that's a massive, as I said before, a massive character. I picked him for the Mid Sussex. He was in the Mid Sussex Championship. He played against us last season in a cup, and he was a pain in my backside, to be honest. He was causing us problems. And I said after the game, who's this guy? And it's Tyree. I said, look, mate, do you want to probably shouldn't say this, but I said, next season, do you want to come over to us? And he was like, yeah, I'll come have a look. And outstanding. He's such a powerful, yeah, like a modern fullback, right? So attacking, and it's just disappointing that what's happened has happened. But he got home. He's had an MRI scan. Had a little bit more positive news. Hopefully, that he's going to have surgery in 3 weeks' time, roughly, to hopefully have his knee rebuilt. I mean, I've given the results to Lydia, who is our physio. I think she deserves a massive shout out. As much as doctors and the ambulances were great, but if we didn't have Lydia there on Saturday, I really don't know what we would have done, to be honest, because she was just unbelievable. Yeah, to have, what was the injury, Tommy? I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest. I don't really want to relive the whole thing. It's a very bad. Yeah, a really bad knee injury that was horrendous. Shout out to Lydia, because if she wasn't there, it would be a whole different story. She was fantastic from minute one. She assessed him properly. She understood what needed to be done. She spoke to the ambulance and the service and gave them the words that they needed to hear. They were there within 16 minutes. Not only that, since then she's been like fully on top of helping him, giving him stuff he can do once he's feeling a bit more in it. So she was brilliant. But hopefully Tyrese will see him. He's coming to watch Saturday. Hopefully, he's going to try and get down to the ground Saturday and watch, because he's desperate to come down and see the boys. But say 19 years old, he's an athlete, so hopefully he will stand some chance. But the journey is long. So everyone that's donated, I just want to say, thank you so much. And football really is a community, right? People like Mo have got him in these messages and been over the weekend supportive. Jude McDonald, Dave Ortendorf, those guys that have messaged me because asking me how he's doing and all that sort of stuff. As I said in the video today, you can step onto the pitch and battle each other, and at the end we shake hands, right? And that's great, and that's what you want to see. But when something like this happens, you realise that we all do keep an eye on what each other are doing. And when something like this happens, the support and showing the love has been fucking unbelievable. Honestly, it's been absolutely incredible. And thank you to everybody that's shown support to Tyrese. And hopefully one day we will see him back in a ring with shirt, but the journey will be long for now, I'm afraid.
Stay strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's it for me. Thank you very much, Tommy.
No worries, man.
I'm done with being the wanker anchor now. I'm going to pass it back to the actual wanker and let him carry on.
Oh, dear. He doesn't like the spotlight, Tommy, I've got to say.
I do like talking. I did warn you this.
Unless he's got a burger in his hand.
Yeah, I talked with a burger now. Got another one of them coming later.
Excellent. Right, Tommy, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And you might see Chris on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, and guys, you keep doing what you're doing as well. Without you guys supporting us and showing non-league on here, we wouldn't, again, it gives us something to do on a Wednesday. I love watching you guys, and the support you give as well is fantastic. So keep up the good work as well, guys.
Cheers, Tommy. Cheers, Tommy. Legend.
All the best, Tommy.
Cheers, guys. See you later. Bye. Bye.
Now, as you did hear part of the way in there, Mike's dulcet tones are back on the airways. You did make it back from foggy Haberteeth, and we'll get to that very much later. But how are you, Mike?
I'm good, lads. Yeah, sorry. I had to do the real job before this, and it overrun a bit. So apologies.
I didn't know you had one. I thought this was it. This is it.
I have a real job. That is. But yeah, good to be back. Tommy, what a guy, Ringmer, great club. It's really bad about the lad. Obviously, the injury just goes to show, though, doesn't it? You never know. Like that, you can flip your life. Importance of things, getting insurance, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But they've done really well with the GoFundMe. What were they up to in the GoFundMe?
$3,000, I think, last I saw.
That is fantastic. That's really, really good.
Which is good.
Yeah, good luck. Hopefully stays strong and carries on, Right, lads. Where are we?
Let's get on, shall we?
Let's
go. National League South. And last weekend, Eastbourne Borough went down 2-0 at Hornchurch. On Saturday as well, Worthing and Horsham shared a 1-1 draw on Tuesday evening, Worthing beat Broadbeach 3-1 in the Sussex Senior Cup quarter-final. This coming Saturday, Worthing head to Bath City, Eastbourne Borough at home to Farnborough, and Horsham at home to Chelmsford City. Then on Tuesday evening, Eastbourne Borough head to Dagenham and Redbridge, and Worthing head to Hampton and Richmond. Only one thing we can talk about, really, Worthing against Horsham, and 3,865 crammed into that tiny little space that is Woodside Road.
Incredible. I'm a bit pissed off, to be honest with you, because I quite liked being part of a record crowd.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that.
Brilliant.
No, shout out. To break their club record that's, I think, 134 years or something like that, 120 years or something. Yeah. Just to break that twice in the space of 6 weeks or 4 weeks even.
4 weeks, yeah,
is incredible. So
it's a club with a crazy fan base that is been under hitting for a long, long time. The people around here want to support the club. Club's going places. They're getting behind the team. Long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what I did notice, obviously, doing what I do for a living. I was up at Bromley yesterday. The difference between a National League South side and a team that are in League Two, and what you have to do to get to that level is absolutely incredible. I was blown away, but obviously I went to Bromley with you, Trev, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe a little bit less.
Probably a bit less than that, yeah.
And the way that club's grown and I appreciate it's not Sussex, I mean, it's not non-league, but actually the way that club's grown out of non-league and into the Football League is where the likes of Worthing and Horsham and Eastbourne Borough really want to go in the next few years. So the difference between the facility standard is mental.
Yeah, it's crazy. Question for the three of you, though. Obviously, Worthing's crowds are really rising. I think they've got the second highest average, I think, this year behind Torquay at the moment.
Okay.
Right, so they get promoted to the National League, and you've got some big clubs in there that are going to bring big supports. There'd be more people wanting to watch Worthing as well. How much longer can Woodside Road itself sustain Worthing FC there without it becoming a problem?
Probably not long.
Time frame, roughly? Just
3 years tops.
Just a thought. 3. Okay.
It depends on growth and ambition within the club, doesn't it? Obviously, what matches it on the field. Around there's not much room. Obviously, they've got the bowling alley next door as well.
Yeah.
In there. But even so, there's enough room or land around to make that happen if the club were ambitious enough and if they could really have a plan to make that happen. I'd love to see it. I would love to see it.
Go on, Chris.
Yeah.
I have not a lot to add other than looking at a map which I'm doing now, and because it's not a ground I've been to. In fact, Worthing.
Yeah.
Have you not been there? Not been down the manor?
No, I haven't. I've driven through it and hated every second of it. But no, not because it's just because
you won't be welcome anyway.
Not now, anyway.
It's the only place. It's the only place in Sussex that's more of a God's waiting room than Eastbourne.
Oh, really? I don't know. The people of Bexhill would beg to differ, my friend. But no, to be fair, no, I've more driven up the north end of it where the A27 is, and that is horrible. Because traffic's awful. So yeah, I don't really have anything to add on Worthing, I'm afraid. But it looks quite tight and packed. It reminds me of where Man City used to play, to be fair. But City had a bit more land around Main Road than that. You've got a couple of the Crown Green Bowls pitches. I'm sure they wouldn't be missed.
The fact is in a residential area and it all backs onto it. You know, all the sides basically, and the parking around there is horrendous.
You have to get there about an hour and a half before a game if you want to park. Not for you, Mike, because there's 2 train stations, both about a similar distance away, isn't there? So you won't have to worry about the parking.
I've never had a problem. Never had a problem.
No, the thing is, though, you look at a map of Worthing, you think, where?
Well, the same applies to Worthing United as well, because they had for years with the lease up in that end of the Worthing. So it's not just that club, as the big Worthing, there's that as well.
But I mean, in terms of if they needed to build a new ground, for example, where? There isn't really anywhere you could put it.
You're probably looking north of the 27, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, there is one other place which has been touted around in the past, I think, and that's around sort of Ferrin Rife, Littlehampton Road by Northbrook College. That's sort of
a ground share with the rugby, I think, as well.
Yeah, but then that doesn't alleviate anything, really, does it?
No, and things like that take not months of planning. There's years of planning, the red tape and everything like that to go through. So look, if they'd already have their eyes on something like that in the future anyway, all the board members. You know what I mean? But they've got to do it on the pitch, though. They've got to do it to the end of the season. I really hope they do.
Absolutely, yeah. I think for me, like obviously, I was at the previous record attempt and didn't see a great deal. I couldn't see a great deal of the game.
No. But you were also there when they had 110 fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so you know
growth. But actually, if I'm being 100% honest, I think I preferred it when it was 110 fans. I had my pick of where I could stand and see the pitch. And look, I'm not. What I'm trying to say is, it was the match experience of not being able to see anything. And look, I'm 6'4". I can't. I'm not sort of.
Go and watch your under-18s play on a Sunday then. Do you know what I mean? You need. It's rocking. You can when they fill it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I know you don't want to spend 20 quid and only see 20% of a game, do you?
I see what you mean by the view.
Yeah. I think the point he's trying to make is I mean, and if you go possibly even to Meadowbank at Dorking as well, the vantage points in some parts of the ground, you just can't do anything to elevate them because of the blueprint you're in. So you're stuck with what they've got over the far side with that stand that runs a touchline is brilliant. If they could replicate 2/3 of that either side of the main stand as well, would solve so many problems. But again, it's that problem of the blueprint being small, which is why I asked the question, because then when you go into a new ground, that sort of thing would be taken care of, and makes it a much better experience. So it's kind of balancing it up against, being able to have that great match day experience versus half a good match day experience, as Gaz got. And he said if he's a good 6 foot odd and can't see, there ain't much light for the likes of a small old wizard, is there? Exactly, which is why I get there early and stand at the back of the new stand so I can see. Yeah, simple as that. But anyway, right, let's move into the Isthmian Premier Division and results last Saturday. Chichester City drew 2-2 with Wingate and Finchley. Burgess Town drew 1-1 at Folkestone and Victor. Lewis went down 3-0 at Ramsgate, and Whitehawk won 5-3 at St Albans City. This coming Saturday, Burgess Town host Dartford. Chichester City head to Cheshunt. Lewis are at home to St Albans City, and Whitehawk are at home to Canvey Island with a 1 p.m. kickoff. Chris, a few weeks ago, you called Folkestone the runaway champions already, and they've had a bit of a wobble in recent weeks and took them 84 minutes to score against Burgess Hill on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a cracking result for Burgess Hill. Yeah, I've put the right kibosh on in Victor, haven't I?
You have.
Yeah, the 2 points from 12 they've taken since I proclaimed them champions. So, is that you do it?
Well, I did say to you, didn't I? I said Dover this time last year were running away with it, and I said don't count your chickens yet, and they fell away. And although Averley's unbeaten run came to an end, I think at the weekend or the Saturday before, they won Monday against Welling, win there, I think 3 games in hand. And I think only puts them about 5 points behind. They've got 2 in hand on Invicta, which will give them up to 54, so they'd still be 8 off. I still think Invicta will do it, but yeah, they've made me look a right twat.
Talking about Averley, but Chatham have got 3 games in hand on Folkestone and are only 13 points behind them.
There you go. Yeah.
I think. What I would say about Averley as well is I would have personally had them beating Welling slightly more convincingly than they did, but.
They're a bit more improved under Ryan Maxwell, though. Welling, to be fair, I mean they were dead and buried, as were Potts Bar before Sammy Moore and Ian Hendon got in there. So, it's not as clear cut as it is, and we're in that point of the season as well when people are looking at budgets and going whether can they stretch it a little bit further or whether they're going to cut it because it's not quite where it should be and that sort of thing. So, interesting kind of month. Excellent win for Whitehawk at St Albans, who pumped 5 past Cray Valley. the week after. If they can string 2 or 3 results together, Mike, they're going to be knocking on that playoff door a bit like Chichester will if they can win their games in hand.
It's consistency, isn't it?
That's the watchword in this league. Consistency. Most of the teams, 18 of the teams have failed to string an unbeaten run of 6 or more together. So there's only 6 teams who've managed to do that in this league.
Right. And who are they?
Aveley, Folkestone, Dartford, Wingate, Cray Wanderers, and Ramsgate. All the others have failed to reach 6.
Of course he knew. Of course he knew exactly what it was. Yeah, I mean, 33 points, run together.
What I'll say for White Hawk as well is they could have easily gone the other way. They'd lost to 2 teams in the relegation zone, and then they've bounced back by winning 3 on the bounce. So,
all right, aren't they?
Yeah, that's one way to respond.
Couple of games. There's some tough games coming up, though.
Well, next up's Canvey, and as I've just said, they've just lost to 2 teams in the relegation zone, so Canvey at home. You think they'd be eyeing up 3 points there? You'd hope they would, for the sake of Sussex football, but
yeah, it is a really funny league to try and pick anything out and get any kind of momentum behind the sides that are outside of the top 5. Realistically, I think we said this for most of the season that you string 2 points, string 2 wins together, so and pick up 6 points, you can shoot up 8 or 9 places in the table, and vice versa if you lose, at the same time. Pretty much the bottom 6 hasn't changed that much probably over the last 8 to 12 weeks. But above that, it's just an absolute lottery, isn't it? And it really is about the consistency. If anybody else wants to try and make the playoffs, which is still just about possible.
Yeah.
No, it is ridiculous at the moment.
It'd be weird. Burgess Hill, they've just played Folkestone. They've got Dartford at the weekend. They could conceivably go down. They could be in bottom half theoretically. Obviously won't be, but they
win that. They put the pressure back on Dartford there.
Yeah, obviously.
You know what I mean? That's
exactly. Yeah.
There'll be 4 points off Dartford if they do that, which is nothing at this stage.
I like Burgess Hill.
Crazy league. Right, let's jump out to the Isthmian South East Division and results last Saturday. Hastings United went down 4-1 to AFC Croydon Athletic. Hassocks lost 2-1 at AFC Whiteleaf. Broadbridge Heath won 6-0 at East Grinstead. Eastbourne Town beat Deal Town by 3-2. Herne Bay and Crowborough Athletic shared a 0-0 draw, and VCD went down 4-0 at Three Bridges. On Tuesday, as we mentioned, Broadbridge Heath lost 3-1 to Worthing in the Sussex Senior Cup quarter-final, and in the league, Crowborough Athletic won 2-1 at Hastings. This coming Saturday, Broadbridge Heath hosts Sittingbourne. East Grinstead Town travel to Crowborough Athletic. Three Bridges are at Deal Town. Hassocks are at home to Sevenoaks Town. Hastings United are at home to AFC Whiteleaf. Then on Tuesday evening, East Grinstead Town are at home to AFC Whiteleaf with a 7:30 kickoff. And in the Velocity Cup, Crowborough Athletic host Redbridge. Go on.
Don't forget, Margate play Eastbourne Town on Saturday.
Did I miss that one off?
Yeah.
I must have dropped off the end of the thing as I was trying to do 3 jobs at once while I was trying to put my little sheet together. Speaking of Eastbourne Town, you were there at Saffron's last weekend. And was it a Billy Clark hat-trick?
It was a Billy Clark hat-trick, yeah. We were 1-0 down after 3 minutes, which after a pretty ropey lunchtime that I'd had, I was starting to think this day is panning out really badly. But to be fair to Town, Deal nearly went 2-0 up. I think then we would have been in problems, but no, Billy Clark hat-trick. First was a pen. Second, great finish after a really clever knockdown from Alfie Rogers. And then the third, just after Deal had equalised, Clark got the third after a little hold-up and flick from Aaron Capon. So, yeah, great mentality to just jump straight back into the lead after having been pegged back. Massive result for us because our next 6 are horrible. We've got trips to Margate, Merstham, Croydon and Ashford. And we've got Whiteleaf at home. So that is not a nice 6. So to have gone 5 unbeaten now is massive because that had the potential to be a very dark winter indeed. But we do have it, and we also have Erith at home on the 31st, who started picking up a bit of form.
2 wins out of 2 under the new managers.
Yeah, I mean, for them, beating the teams around you is big, but getting that win at Faversham was, mad as well. But I think beating VCD for them is probably more important. So, yeah, it was a great performance from Town. We're starting to score goals again. I think the return of Aaron Cape onto the front line, it's no coincidence we started banging goals in again. The next 6 are. I mean, we're only a point now, I think, off the top half, or because of the way the table has condensed. At that, we're on for 35 points. Yeah, 36 Brobridge. So we're only a point off the top half now, which, considering how little we have in terms of squad, is a really good achievement.
Well, at least it looks like Jude's got over the podcast curse anyway.
Eventually.
It's taking a bit of time, isn't it, as it goes?
Only Jude.
Gaz, the good 4 points picked up for Crowborough over the last 2 games, over a 0-0 draw and a win at Hastings last night. Just gives him that little bit of security in mid-table.
Yeah. Crowborough team, they just come up, didn't they, this season?
Yep.
In playoffs. So anything's good for them, but that little bit of security in mid-table would enable them to go out there and play with a little bit of freedom, right?
Yeah.
That was a good answer, considering I wasn't actually paying attention, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's standard for you. That's why I try and pick you up on it.
Sorry. I was looking at stuff to talk about for the next league. I wasn't expecting you to come to me because we're talking about.
Always expect the unexpected. I am the wizard, remember?
What I will say for Crowborough.
Wizard sleeve. I don't know about a wizard.
No, kids out here, it's fine. What I will say for Crowborough, I said a couple of weeks ago, like they've just got this habit of just picking up points. Do you know they've only lost back-to-back games twice this season?
That wouldn't surprise me. But
I mean, for a team at any level, I mean, Folkestone have lost. They lost 2 in the track, and they're miles clear in the league. So it happens. But to have only done it twice when you're new to the league like that is brilliant.
That's an understated achievement. That is. Yeah.
Way to go, innit? Right, let's get into the Isthmian South Central because Gaz is prepared for this one. So we'll see what he's got in this one. Right, result last Saturday, Bognor Regis Town went down 2-1 at Hayes and Yedding. Littlehampton Town's trip to Westfield was postponed. This coming Saturday, Bognor host Hendon and Littlehampton are at home to Hanworth Villa, while on Tuesday evening, Littlehampton head to Fareham Town. Gaz, that inconsistency that Bognor seem to not be able to get over is likely to cost them anything other than a mid-table finish this season, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think after last season that they'll take some sort of security, right? Some sort of, yes, it's inconsistent, but actually, do you know what? It's better than last year where we just got pummeled week out, right? So they'll be happy with that. Settled down. They've still had a little bit of upheaval at the start of the season, obviously not being at home. Michael Birmingham left as well. I think was that the last start of the season.
Yeah, about three games in, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
So the consistency on the pitch is mirrored by the consistency off the pitch, right? So I think if they get a bit of consistency, stay up this season, and then they can kick on next season because they've had that sort of year of, right, we've got it right now. They're back at home. They're back at Nywood Lane. The Nye Camp, as they're calling it.
Always have done. They've always called it that.
That will be an absolute beast of a ground for clubs in that league to go to next season if they're still in that league and they don't make the lateral move across to the southeast.
Yeah, I don't think they will, to be fair. I think where the pair of them have saved so much time on mileage this year for both them and Littlehampton as well, I can see them staying. I think it'll only be depending on what happens above or below them that will affect them potentially moving across. I'd imagine if they do get moved across, they'll deal against it because it works better for them, this way round. But to see who finishes where and elsewhere.
Absolutely,
at the end of the season. Right, let's get into the FA Vars, only 2 games for our sides at the weekend. Crawley Down Gatwick went down 2-1 at Cockfosters, and Hayward Heath's trip to the East Anglian coast of Great Yarmouth was abandoned. And we'll come to that one in just a second, Mike. I was due to go to Cockfosters to watch Crawley Down Gatwick, and I was due to meet the coach at 10:30 at the Haven to head up, and I had a message from Dave Connor, the chairman, at 8:30 to say, just to let you know, they've arranged a pitch inspection for 10:15, and I was like, fantastic, because I'd have to leave at 9:15 to get to the Haven to catch the coach, and then no guarantee that the game is definitely going to be on. So he said, I completely understand if you want to change venues. So I did, and we'll come to where I went a bit later on. The game did go ahead, as you know, so we're just giving you the final result. And they were on the road for 20 minutes before it was actually called on, which I have a big bugbear about postponements and people travelling and whatnot. Without shouldn't be happening, regardless, whatever. So I ended up elsewhere. Mike ended up on his coach. He nearly didn't get back home on his coach, and potentially it might have been a little bit quicker for him to get a ferry out to Holland and then back down round the coast to get home, because it was a rather eventful afternoon, Michael, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows that we travelled. Well, I travelled from Worthing to Hayward Heath, and then we travelled from Hayward Heath to Great Yarmouth on a coach. FA Vars, crazy day. Hayward Heath started the game a little bit sloppy in there. Fluke goal came in from the back post. It was a cross. Everyone missed it. They had the game totally under control. Shalaka popped up, bang, 1-0. They would have gone on to win that game 3-4-1, in my opinion. Definitely. Pretty heavy pitch. One of those ones with the track round it, you know, not ideal for people looking. And also the oldest stadium, certainly in the UK, if not around, because it is an antique. Lovely.
Nice, though, isn't it? Nice stand.
Yeah, really, really nice, authentic, and that. But Hayward Heath definitely had it well under control. And obviously, then out of nowhere, this fog has come through. And I'll tell you one thing. When I say fog, it's like, you know, when you see in the old Batman movies and you see like the Batman in the background, you know, all the fog comes in from there. It coming out of nowhere, mate. And no, you could see probably about 10 metres in front of you. Abandoned the game at 55. People have been ushered out of the stadium and that. End of story. Replay. Obviously now there's been a lot of problems with the replay because they moved it from a Saturday, which would be next week, to a Sunday. You know, it's caused a lot of controversy in the round because basically that's going to mean other games have to be shifted in our leagues. For example, what was saying, Trev, they then had to. They asked, I believe, the club had asked Pagham to move the game as well to accommodate. Obviously, that game, Pagham have already had the game changed already once before, and it would have been for them 3 games on one pitch in about 6 or 7 days. You know, not viable. That would have been to a Thursday. So yeah, and so I don't think the leagues, not the league, but the FA have done either teams, especially not Hayward Heath and certainly not Pagham and the other teams around them that are involved in there, any favours really with what's happened. You know, nobody expects the game to be called off and stopped, but as you know, there's been a lot of unfair criticism flying around, and that, you know, people trying to accommodate everyone else, but not everyone knows all the factors of everyone that's done that. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what your views are on it, lads.
Well, I'll add a little bit more context in just before the other two do as well, because it's stuff I'd found out in the last couple of days as well that I didn't know. That Great Yarmouth don't actually own the stadium; it's owned by the council.
Yeah, that is a massive surprise, by the way.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Their ground sharers, which they aren't because they're both tenants, are Gorleston, who are literally just up the road. But they play at step 4. Yeah. They've only been up season or two, I think. They were at step 5 with Yarmouth for a long time, or especially at step 5 level. Now, what I've also found out as well is that when a lot of clubs sign ground share agreements, they pay for a certain amount of Saturdays, i.e. they'll probably pay for the amount of league games they've got to play and X amount of cup games maybe. So also with that, there may be stipulations in there because they're both tenants and they're not tenant and landlord, that X fixture takes preference over blah, 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 which not a problem, obviously, until you come to this. Now, I had a couple of, I wouldn't even call it debates, with people on X during the week. And all anyone could throw back at me was the rules. And yeah, appreciate that. I know there's rules that set in that, but not one person then came back and went, well, actually, these are the rules, but I don't think they're right. I don't think they're right. But no one else, all anyone else was interested in doing. And these people have got no skin in either club, in the FA Vars or the tie or whatever. But it was rules. Well, how about we change the rules? Because I don't see how it fits, as it is. But the complication of this, who owns the ground, they're equal clubs in there, although Yarmouth have played there for donkey's years and whatever, and should, in my opinion, have a little bit more leeway than what Gorleston have. It's one of those things. One of those things that happens in a blue moon.
But it's affected all our clubs, isn't it? For that,
yeah, it has. It's affected a lot. Yeah, I mean, there's also the reason as well as to, they can't play this Saturday. Why can they not play the following Saturday instead? Because Gorleston will be away. If they're not, if they're at home, then I haven't looked that far into it. Then obviously there's another problem that just kicks the can another.
This isn't a league issue, is it? It's an FA issue.
It's an FA issue with in terms of what rules what and what rules doesn't. See, if
the SNLF have no say over this whole thing anyway, do they?
Not over that bit, no. I mean, if Gorleston had been step 5 as well, the game would have taken preference. But the fact that they're up one level, but my argument is as well is that the FA Vars is a flagship competition underneath the trophy in non-league.
Agreed.
So as far as I'm concerned, if a county cup fixture can take preference over a league game in midweek, and it doesn't matter who's in what league, because I've seen it happen to National League South clubs this year as well, then why is the Vars not trumping?
100%. And now look at the knock-on effect this has had with the teams in our league. Yeah?
Yeah.
But, well...
And that is out of the SCFL's hands, I think Hayward Heath rightly feel that they've been stifled in their way for that because of what they've had to do. Pagham have had a lot of stick unfairly because, in all fairness, 3 games in 6 or 7 days on that pitch, things like that kind of, they had the right to do that anyway. They'd already changed the game once, It's not helped either team at all. I'll tell you the one team that probably has helped, probably helped Stenning out.
Yeah, I know, that's what I've been thinking as well.
Don't you reckon 100%?
Yeah.
It's just like, I think people got to understand this is the leagues. It's not the league that have had to move it around. It's just both teams, or all the teams involved in this scenario. From the Vars to everything that's kicked off. It's a domino effect, isn't it? Game gets called off, or a team goes far in the Vars, and you think because they're now the last team in Sussex, maybe in the southeast, isn't it?
Whitstable is still in it. So
Whitstable is still in. Okay. You can't count Fisher because they're Londonish and Stoneham are Hampshire, but
but Whitstable very much. I mean, it's interesting as well.
Very much.
Yeah,
it's one of those scenarios where it is a freak scenario, and I fully expect Hayward Heath to go through the next round. after seeing the other team play, unless the other team have had a right old mare on that day. And
yeah, Punjab are still in as well. They are indeed.
that. But yeah, it just caused some bit of controversy.
The Galston thing. I mean, if they've only just come up to step 5 in the last from step 5 in the last couple of years, it'd be a bit disappointed if you Great Yarmouth that there hasn't been a degree of common sense and they've tried to sort of.
Well, again, yeah, there is, but then as I explained earlier, with there's FC Romania. I can't think what league they're in. I want to say the Essex League. Someone pointed out to me, one of my friends, that they ground share. They pay for whatever it is, 20 league games in the year. They don't enter any county cups or anything like that. They literally just keep it to the bare minimum. Now, depending on what the contract that Gorleston have got with Great Yarmouth Council is again, it's another thing that also throws up that whole ground share thing as well. If they weren't ground sharing, not a problem.
Sound, yeah.
It is a complete domino effect, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But it's one of those things that then, but then we know how dormant the FA are, which is why we have an independent regulator, that it isn't going to change. And you just, no one's going to come out of it smelling of roses because of how it is. And if no one above that level is going to put anything in to change it, it's going to happen somewhere along the line to someone else, whether it's one of our clubs or whether it's somewhere else in the country. Simple as that. But
just it feels a bit like an opportunity missed.
It always is with the FA.
Oh,
it's a bit like an own goal from 40 yards out, isn't it? Lobbing your own goalkeeper with a back pass.
I've got a comment here from Instagram.
Yep.
All FAs need updating. So sick of the generic old boys club that think they're about their own pockets rather than the good of the game.
Do you know what? If I speak, I am in trouble.
Yeah. Mike's not allowed to speak.
That's why I said it's a comment.
But I will.
On Instagram.
I agree. 100% agree.
I will say though, there are some good people in some of the FA sections, not absolutely everywhere. Some of the people I've dealt with in the past have been really, really good. Others haven't been, and we do know they enjoy their prawn sandwiches.
Pete and Mike and Trev, that was from Pete Clark, by the way. So you guys both know him, I think.
Oh, nice he's listening.
Yeah.
And our last, go on.
That was it.
Okay, right. And then the last note on the Vars, if Hayward Heath get through or Great Yarmouth Town, they'll play AFC Stoneham in the next round, which will be at home. It'd be an absolute belter of a game because Stoneham have lost once in the Wessex all season, and with Petersfield Town's demise, Stoneham should run away with that division. I think that's on Saturday, February the 7th. Right.
Anyone fancy going to Pagan versus Hayward Heath on Tuesday night?
I think both teams have had some unfair criticism, in there because they've been put in a situation where it was completely out of their control and they're putting that, it's two good, great teams. As well as.
Right, let's draw a line under that. Let's get into the Southern Combination Premier Division. Results on Saturday. Guernsey beat Lingfield by 4-2. Eastbourne United beat Bexhill 8-3. Horsham YM beat Forest Row by 3-2. Pagan won 4-2 at Lancing. Peacehaven and Telscombe beat AFC Vardinians by 2-1. Seaford Town and Little Commonshed 3-3 draw. New Haven won 3-1 at Shoreham. Stenning Town beat Roffey by 4-1. And Wick beat Midhurst and Eastbourne by 3-1. On Tuesday evening, the Peter Bentley Cup quarterfinals, Stenning Town won 3-2 at Jarvis Brook. Little Common beat Worthing United 2-0, and New Haven beat Godalming Town 7-1. In the Premier Division, Horsham YM won 2-0 at Crawley Down Gatwick, and Midhurst and Eastbourne United was postponed. This coming Saturday, New Haven host Guernsey at 2. AFC Vardinians are at home to Stenning. Lancing head to Bexhill United. It's Forest Row versus Peacehaven and Telscombe. Lingfield host Horsham YM at AFC Whiteleaf. Little Common at home to Wick. Seaford Town travel to Midhurst and Eastbourne. Pagham host Eastbourne United, and Crawley Down Gatwick head to Roffey. On Sunday, as we mentioned, Hayward Heath head to Great Yarmouth Town to try again. On Tuesday evening, Crawley Down Gatwick and Forest Row Croydon Gatwick at home to Forest Row, and Pagham are at home to Haywards Heath, both 7:30 kickoffs, and Midhurst and Eastbourne host Lingfield. And on Wednesday, Bexhill United host Peacehaven and Telscombe at 7:30. Gaz, on Saturday you were at Peacehaven against AFC Vardinians.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I was.
Yes, you
what
were.
I will say,
a rare trip to East Sussex.
East Sussex, yeah, and a burger review from East Sussex to come later.
Holy shit! That's like a double bubble. This one.
My first visit actually to Peacehaven.
It's nice, isn't it? Oh, it's nice, isn't it?
It is nice, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
And they're all sort of very welcoming as well. I had a nice chat with the lady on the gate. We were both celebrating in joy as United did City.
What was that? We haven't mentioned that yet, have we?
No, well, we have.
We have. You weren't here.
And also because it's a Sussex non-league podcast, but
I did give him some shit on the day, though, didn't I?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often, mate. It don't happen often.
Great club, and it's good to see Vardinians as well. I went to present the trophy for Team of the Month to Peacehaven, but I wanted to see what Vardinians are like, because obviously they're struggling a little bit at the bottom of the league. If they play like that week in, week out, they'll pick up points against the teams around them and they'll get out of it, in my opinion.
They've really improved of late, results-wise, and defensively. They were averaging 3 goals a game conceded up until about mid-November, and since then, they're only just hovering over 1. So it's 1.25 goals conceded per game. That is a massive improvement, and they've had some tough fixtures in that. It's not like they've been playing nobodies. They've been playing, New Havens, the YMs of this world.
Yeah, and I think they looked good. They didn't look too frail, and Peacehaven were good for their 2-1 win. If I'm being honest, and I think both managers will probably back me up, it wasn't the prettiest of games. It wasn't the most entertaining of games. But do you know what? I went to East Sussex. Trev can get off my back for a little bit,
Yeah, and live for at least a week anyway.
Yeah. You went to the closest part of East Sussex to West Sussex.
No. Could have gone. Yeah, probably actually. Yeah.
Chris, there were no clean sheets on Saturday in the Southern Combination at Premier Division.
Yeah, that's mental. Really wild. I mean, to be fair, Haywards Heath were in Vars action, and they're normally the ones you would say are most likely. But yeah, there was a heck of a lot of goals going in, wasn't there? I mean, Lancing scoring 2 and getting beat. That's given their struggles this season. Like they're scoring 2. That's something. I mean, a lot of teams scored more than 2. So only Shoreham got 1, Roffey 1, Midhurst 1. Everyone else got 2 or more, which is nuts. Not to mention, obviously, the game at the Oval, which was wild.
Yes, Eastbourne United are on the rise again, aren't they? I did say.
Yeah. Do you know? Here's 2 fun facts. Over half of their goals have come in 4 games, because they top load their goals, so they'll just.
They had a 9 earlier, didn't they?
Yeah, so I think was it Lancing who beat 9, Shoreham 7, Bexhill 8. The other thing is, only one team has failed to score more often than Eastbourne United in that league this season. Only Vardinians, who, as we've said, are on the rise. So Eastbourne United have failed to notch in 9 games. Only Vardinians is 11. Everyone else is 8 or less. Now, considering they're on the, that as you say, they are looking up in the table. They're in with a shout of getting a playoff place. For them to blank as often as they do is nuts. And over half their goals have come in just 4 games. So, but credit to James Hull. I mean, he scored 5 on the day, which means
he deserves a massive shout out for that.
Which means he was the difference maker on the day, because without them 5 goals,
it'd be 3-3, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would have been the second 3-3 of the day if he hadn't have turned up and popped in as well. But a couple of big games this weekend.
Hat-trick before half time as well.
The
hat-trick before half time.
Yeah. Yeah, really nuts well.
Oh, I do.
Couple of big games this weekend. New Haven hosting Guernsey and Pagham against Eastbourne United are the two that definitely stick out there, I think.
Yeah, both big games. I mean, to be fair, Forest Road Peacehaven won't be shy of action either. So
no, that's true.
There's some good ones, and I'll tell you what,
building something back down there at Forest Road. I do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Settled down now, hasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. The ship's been steadied. 100% building on now.
And a slightly weird one as well, but given what we've just been saying about Van Dinians, that newly reinforced defence has a stern test as Stenning go to the Whitby.
Yeah,
that'll be really interesting, actually.
I reckon that'd be 5-4, something like that. Because I mean, Stenning have although they won 3-1 at the weekend, they've only got past Jarvis Brook 3-2.
Good teams do enough.
Tuesday night. Sorry,
good teams do enough.
Yeah, well, we've said all season they've got goals in there, and you know, even last night. I mean, Joe Ben's out injured at the moment. Stan Bridgman didn't notch last night. Neither did Dion.
He got a couple game before though, didn't he?
Yeah, Harry Heath did get the winner on Tuesday night, but I think Marcus Allen, who's a centre half, and who's the other? Finn, I think. Finn Daniels Yeoman, I think, got the other one. Who's a midfielder as well. So they can pop them in from absolutely anywhere. But yeah, I'm going 5-4 on that one. We'll see what that comes out as. I think the next week. Were you about to say something, Gaz?
Shout out Noah Suter that's just joined on Instagram.
Yeah, new stuff coming out from New Style Apparel. Mike's modelling the cap. You can't see that on the podcast, but some new lines are dropping very, very soon. Keep your eyes out on what's coming. Right, let's get into Division 1. The Southern Combination. The results last Saturday finished Arundel 2, Reigate Priory 0. Loxwood won 5-0 at Copthorne. Dorking Wanderers B beat Jarvis Brook by 5-1. As we heard earlier from Tommy, Ringmer AFC's game at East Preston was abandoned. Godalming Town and Stalkdean United was postponed. Infinity went down 3-1 at Mile Oak. Oakwood and Billingshurst was also off, and Worthing United won 2-0 at Selsey. As we mentioned earlier in the Peter Bentley Cup quarterfinals on Tuesday, Jarvis Brook went down 2-3 to Stenning. Worthing United lost 2-0 at Little Common, and Godalming Town lost 7-1 at home to New Haven. This coming Saturday, AFC Upfield Town host Godalming Town at 2. Arundel at home to Copthorne. Reigate Priory go to Billingshurst. Infinity against Worthing United. Jarvis Brook host AFC Walcountians. Battle of the Woods between Loxwood and Oakwood at the Nest. Mile Oak at home to East Preston. And as Tommy mentioned earlier, Ringmer AFC host Selsey. I ended up at Arundel, having binned off Crawley Down, Gatwick and Fosters. Not really. I went against sensibility of maybe wasting 2 hours of my time and 2 hours worth of petrol and being early for absolutely nowhere if the game was off. Go somewhere down the road where I was back home by 5:30. Having retweeted all the full-time scores. But you wait till I get to where we're going at the weekend. Anyway.
Right. Lock in, let's go.
So Arundel, Reigate Priory. As we know, Arundel really struggled to get games on in this half of the year. Referee ruled the pitch was safe, and to be fair, it cut up by the end, but it was a bit of an old-fashioned game of football where you could make a few sliding tackles and actually give the referee something to think about, whether that's a foul or whether that's a genuine attempt for the ball or whatever. It was really good. And Reigate Priory were really good going forward. Hit the crossbar first off, and I thought, we've got a bit of a game on here. Arundel hadn't quite woken up, and 6 minutes later, Reigate Priory were 2-0 down. And that was after their goalkeeper had pulled off an absolutely stunning save at 0-0 to deny Harry Russell a goal. Dagan Walsh and Matt Storm, within 3 minutes of each other, put Arundel 2-0 up. And then the keeper, I think it's Jordan Markey, pulled off an absolute worldie of a save. Harrison Mott had hit an effort from about 20 yards out. Yeah, and it was flying into that bottom corner, how he got down and pushed it round.
That boy can play.
Yeah, he looked really good. How he got down and pushed it round the post, I don't know. So from potentially having been 1-0 up, they could have been 4-0 down at half time. That's how fine the margin was in that game. They gave a good go second half, Reigate, but Arundel did defend really well. They had a couple of chances towards the end, Reigate, but Magic came to the rescue.
How's Stormy looking? Was he looking all right?
Sorry?
Stormy.
Yeah, I had a chat with him before the game, and he needs to play football. It's that simple. He's not been enjoying much of it this year.
He's had limited opportunities with Mitch, hasn't he?
Yeah. And I think even in places he looked a little rusty. He looked a little rushed in what he was doing, and I think that's come down to lack of game time more than anything else. He was a bit more. I mean, I've known him as long as you have, Mike, and seen him play through his Preston, through Arundel again at Wick, wherever he can get a game in that. And he's got a great left foot. He played on the right, so he's obviously cutting in towards his left. But he just needs that playing every week, and hopefully recover a bit of his love, I think, for the game.
Yeah,
just shout out to Stormy though, as a player who can play step 4, is registered at a step 4 side, but wants to play football and not just pick up whatever pay he might be getting at step 4. To drop down, he could probably walk into most step 5 clubs, to be fair, at that level, but to drop down another level to step 6, to guarantee
he has got mates there,
those minutes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it is in the area where he can.
But I'm sure the club a bit further down the road between Littlehampton Town and Arundel in Wick Football Club would open arms have him there as someone who can score goals at that level and can score goals at the level up.
He was there. He was there for a bit, wasn't he?
He was there for a bit, yeah. But I just think, look, this isn't about where he's playing. It's just a shout out that he's recognising these play minutes. He's professional enough in a semi-pro
trainer. He's an absolute effing brilliant trainer.
Yeah. Anyway, I made my point.
Yeah, Arundel was absolutely right. They did have 2 or 3 good chances as well in that first half as well to reduce the deficit as well. And Magic was quick off his line. I want to give a shout out to Brad Johnson though, Reigate Priory, in that he was really good on the ball, trying to engineer a lot during that second half. But just one of those days, I think, where it just didn't happen. I spoke to Dale White at half time.
Was he disappointed?
Who, Dale?
It was disappointed.
Yeah, just a bit. He said that they made a few changes, that they didn't they didn't execute the game plan for the players that he brought in. But he said, credit to them. First half, our keepers made 2 great saves. We could have gone in 4 down and be absolutely out of it. It's 2-0 down. If we could score second half, then makes a game of it.
Did you see enough to think that Arundel will push on for the playoffs consistently?
Yeah, I think if they can get games on and they can continue to play, then they will. It's if they get a bit of a backlog, that'll be where the problem comes, I think.
Yeah, I hope Josh and Jimbo do well.
Yeah. I had a chat with both of them. I spent most of the first half with Simon Butler and Dan Harvey as well. And obviously Dan was giving
Has he finished his run yet? Has he done it?
No, he's got 20 miles left to do, I think it is.
That's incredible. 20 miles, 100 miles.
Yeah, so he's not far away. But yeah, we was having a good chat about what he wants to do there and everything like that. Obviously I wasn't on last week, but I listened back to the interview as well during the week and that, just to hear what he had to say and everything. But yeah, it's good. Food was good as always, as it is down there with Breeden's Burgers. Chips were lovely as well and everything. So yeah, nice afternoon. I was back home by 5:30 as well, which I would much rather have been coming back from Crawley Down Gatwick, who were unlucky against Cockfosters, losing an injury time goal. But you go where you can go.
Just quickly, I've got 2 things. What Crawley Down, we moved on a bit too quick, but what Crawley Down Gatwick got to do to get past this stage? They were at this stage last year.
Yeah.
What more importantly, what they've got to do to get a bit of luck at the moment.
Yeah.
That they've had loads of bad luck.
Well, and literally every other manager You saw it from Gilesley the other night, saying whenever they come out of a game with Crawley down Gatwick, that their league position, the league table normally doesn't lie, but everyone seems to be of the opinion that in terms of Crawley down Gatwick, it really does.
Yeah.
And they don't get pummeled. They don't get pummeled of Crawley down. They're always on the end of narrows.
They have some really good players, mate. Really good players on that side.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. I know they were missing a few on Saturday as well. So David, I did text David Sunday morning. He said, for the squad we had out, I mean, they equalised with 4 minutes to go.
I think Leslie's on about 15 goals, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been on. Yeah, I don't know. He hasn't scored, I don't think, for the last few years. I haven't noticed too many of his goals going in.
But he's been flying the flag. He's a really, really good player.
He is, isn't he?
Mm.
In terms of Div 1, I just want to give a shout out to Mile Oak. Regardless of the drama that's surrounded Infinity in the last 7 days, they've beaten.
That's a mad one, wasn't it?
Well,
yeah, Ryan's mentioned it. I was going to talk. That was my next.
We'll come on to that in a second.
Fine,
everyone keeps talking.
Yeah, Mile Oak though have beaten Godalming and Infinity this season. They're the only team to beat Godalming actually. So again, big props to them for another big game performance.
I didn't know that was
shout out Worthing. I mean, that's a great result over at Selsey. Selsey had been flying. The thing with Selsey is, and this shocked me, but I actually did quite a bit of prep for this for tonight for some reason. Selsey actually have the third best away record in terms of points per game, but only the bottom two and Salt Dean have a worse home record. Which, for a team who've been doing so well as Selsey, they've always had a couple of games in hand, but they've made a right surge for the playoffs theoretically, and that struck me as really weird. To be fair, so yeah, good result for Worthing though to get that over the line, and a good result for Loxwood as well. 5-0 when you've been struggling like they have. Good on them.
Yeah, absolutely. As Ryan, definitely. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to do a show here.
Dan Harvey's got 15 miles left. He's just updated it about an hour ago.
Thanks.
15 miles. Sorry. I'll shut up now. You come to me when I'm not prepared. I'm prepared and I can't get a word in edgeways. You tell me to shut up.
Sad, isn't it, really?
Big food guy, you having a meltdown?
Yeah.
He is. Yeah, like, a melted cheese down. But as Ryan mentioned, Sean Gale's left Infinity this week. Something of a surprise, as we'd say, but we're led to believe a bit of an altercation on Saturday after the Milo game. So he's gone this week. Dex Seedon announced as the new manager this evening before we went on air, and just literally before we came on, he's brought in Harrison Cable from Petersfield Town, who is a very decent striker, the step 5 level, and he's dropping down into step 6. So Dex obviously got a few connections in and around, so they might not be dropping out of the playoff race.
Well, one thing's for certain is they've lost a guy who has managed at the big levels. You know, he went to Anfield. He took his team to Anfield over there, didn't he? Having a water. Sean's an incredible guy. I did an interview with him, didn't we, Trev? And you introduced me. And the knowledge of that bloke in the game, and I was shocked because he has his standards, and obviously maybe standards has dropped in whatever areas it had dropped, and that's maybe what caused the altercation from hearsay, at the Milo game, and that was obviously swiftly dealt with. So good luck to Sean, whatever he does. But that's a statement. The new gaffer coming in and bringing him in. Do you know what I mean? Because you're looking at it and you're thinking, how many of those players actually played for sure? Is there going to be an exodus? Is there going to be people moving around? Are things that might have happened at the club already upset the apple cart enough as it is? So it's going to be some interesting times in there, but make no mistake about it. He just won't just fall off, I'm sure they've already spoke to a lot of the players have got them in, but it'd be interesting next 2 games. I think we'll know.
Well, definitely interesting on the weekend as they host Worthing United.
Well, Worthing United have expected, as we said in the pre-season, we expect them to be there or thereabouts. With the team they've got, the youngsters, we know them well. really, really good side. Be disappointing if they don't do well, but yeah, might add a bit of spice to it, that game. Who's at home?
Infinity.
Oh, it's a long old trek to go down there. Hostile crowd.
Well, I don't know. Some of their attendance figures this year have not been brilliant. So they might be hostile, but I'm pretty sure the Worthing United team will outnumber them. So
we'll check back on that on that one.
We will. Right. Apparently, Gaz has some breaking news he'd like to share with us all. So he's obviously prepared something.
Yeah. Tommy Haddon, right? We had him on. What, he left just over an hour ago, just under an hour ago. In the last 15 minutes, Ringmer have announced the signing of Matt Simpson, who was club captain at Seaford Town last year.
Simo, he's the one. He's the one I did the 90k with. Simo.
He said they've just taken a coach. He said they've just taken a coach down from Seaford, haven't they?
Right. Is there any reason why we've just had the gaffer on and he hasn't mentioned that?
I know. I'm a little bit upset with him. You wait. Had to keep it until it was done completely. Tommy, I'm really disappointed.
Right. First,
not angry, mate. I'm disappointed.
Simo is one hell of a guy. Second, it's a shocker he's left Seaford because I know how much he's loved there, and how much his mates he's got. So
I'll tell you what, right? If Tommy had any minerals, he would have teased that in before he left the studio. Honestly, he's just gone down in my estimation.
All right, Kev.
Interesting one, that is. I wonder what Darts and Wisey got to say about that. That's interesting. But he's a really, really nice guy. And I spent a lot of time with him. Yeah, that's wow, shock on that one.
It's almost like they knew it was coming, though. Like, you got Tommy commented twice, Will's commented on there. It's almost like they knew we'd break it on the.
Well, if he's coming on the show, and then he leaves the show, then half hour later he announces that kind of pretty shocking signing. Then...
It's a good job you boys didn't keep him talking though, so we had time to go and sign his half of the paperwork.
Yeah, all part of the plan. Anyway,
right. Let's get into step 7 results for last week. In Southern Combination Division 2, the games at Alfold and Capel and Storrington were postponed. Brighton Electricity and Bosham shared a 1-1 draw. Hailsham Town won 2-1 at Southwater. Upper Beeding beat Rudgwick by 5-0. And a bit of sacking territory. Mike Worthing Town lost 8-0 at home to Rustington.
I can't speak on Worthing Town anymore. It's getting repetitive.
Right, fixtures this coming week. Alfold host Bossham. AFC Brighton Rangers at home to Southwater at Lancing. Capel host Upper Beeding. Storrington head to Cheshire City B. Rudgwick at home to Worthing Town. Rustington host TD Shipley. That's a game and a half, isn't it? And Hailsham Town home to Ferring. Then on Tuesday evening, TD Shipley are home to Worthing Town, being played at Stenning. In the Mid Sussex Premier Division, finished Cookfield Rangers 4, Balcombe 1. Hollington United and Rotherfield shared a 2-2 draw. Crowhurst won 3-1 at Lindfield. Punnets Town against Holland Sports postponed. And Westfield beat Reigate Priory by 3-0. In the Mid Sussex Senior Charity Cup, Copthorne Seconds beat Polegate Town 4-0. And in the Surrey FA Saturday Premier Cup, French's Athletic beat Farley Rovers by 2-1. This coming on Tuesday evening, Crowhurst beat Polegate Town by 5-0. This coming weekend in the Montgomery Cup, Holland Sports are at home to Reigate Priory Reserves. In the Sussex Intermediate Cup, Cookfield Rangers are at home to Hollington United. In the Premier Division, Linfield hosts Westfield, Polegate Town are at home to Balcombe, Shoreham Seconds at home to Rotherfield, and Crowhurst host French's Athletic. In the West Sussex Premier Division, results last week, Dale United beat Billingshurst Reserves 3-0. Harting beat Horsham Crusaders 6-1. Petworth against Watersfield was postponed. TD Ship Reserves beat Holbrook Olympic 7-1. And Wittering United beat AFC Fishbourne 3-1. This coming Saturday, Angmering host Dale United. Billingshurst Reserves home to AFC Fishbourne. Watersfield head to Horsham Crusaders. Petworth are at home to Wittering United. And TD Shipley Reserves are at home to Harting. There we go. That's everyone.
There's a couple of massive games. There's a couple of massive games at Step 7 this weekend.
Yeah, Linfield Westfield is huge.
Yeah, and I know TD aren't going for promotion, but Rustington TD Ship would be decent as well.
Well, we did say that, but
that
you
will be a good game because the
you
Ship are
disappeared.
unbeaten.
You disappeared. But there we go.
Yeah.
Right, Gareth.
Oh, it's my turn. Hold on, I went to get a drink.
No surprise.
Yeah, I've done all that talking, you see.
I don't think so. It's just your middle name, isn't it? Gareth Unprepared Spinks.
Gareth, the legend Spinks.
No, you can't spell either. Go on, carry on.
I can't spell?
No, because it's not legend, is it? It's underprepared. Carry
So
on.
is it-
Come on.
Is this the
People want to hear about your food. Get on with it.
Peacehaven Burger Review.
Yeah, I've had one from there, so I know what's coming.
Have I? Nice.
Nice. Okay. ELB, entry level bun, not toasted, but it was all right. It was a Booker burger, dependable workhorse. We're not going to mark down Booker burgers. This one wasn't too bad. It was all right. Cheese was melted. Was melted, which on current form, that is fucking massive. Right. Two rashers of bacon, not just one. I've got two. Moisture level was spot on.
So, moisture level?
Yeah, I know. It's just what I was thinking.
No, look, I've got a new.
You get these parameters from moisture level, okay?
Well, yeah, you don't want it too greasy.
ChatGPT, that's where he gets them from.
No, you don't want it too moist. Too moist.
Nothing wrong being too moist.
You don't want it too greasy, like I had at East Preston, but you don't want Horsham YM burger, which was a bit too dry. Like there's a happy medium between the two, right?
You just
That isn't me calling out Horsham YM. That's just me saying the burger was shit, and I said it was shit on the night, and they all told me it was shit. So there we go. Moisture level spot on. No grease. Look, this one knows exactly what it is. It's not flashy, not trying to be something it isn't. Just a solid, honest burger that turns up, does the job, goes home. Quiet nod from the crowd. There you go.
A quiet nod from the crowd.
Huh?
What's the score?
Yeah.
6.5 out of 10.
So where does that sit in the table?
I don't know. I showed you earlier. It sits just behind Haywards Heath and just ahead of Loxwood.
So in the playoff, just outside?
Eighth out of 14.
So it's outside the playoffs of the Bundesliga.
It's like mid-table.
In the middle of the road.
Just out of interest, though, it's not long since I had a Facebook memory about Tesco making burgers out of horse. So maybe referring to the burger as a reliable workhorse.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one, Chris. I worked for Iceland at the time of the horse meat scandal. You can imagine the trouble we went through.
Did it carry on for long?
Oh, God. Right, let's stop horsing around and move on, shall we?
My word. Christmas back at Chris jokes.
He's only at a canter at the moment. Sorry. This is a football podcast. Come on.
Yeah, go back to being underprepared. Right.
He's having a mare.
On to team of the week. And last week we went for Three Bridges for their Sussex Senior Cup win over Horsham. Gaz went only on penalties, and I went, yeah, but Horsham have held that cup. Yeah, and Horsham held that cup.
Not for the Peds, you weren't.
Shut up. And Horsham held that cup for 2.5 years. So that's some grip to get rid of, to actually get someone else at the Amex to actually try and win it.
Yep.
So fair play, Three Bridges.
Yeah, they were fantastic. They really, really were.
Nice.
Hell of a team.
Right, go on then, Chris. You can go first on the shout-outs.
Yeah, massive one for Eastbourne Town. Aaron Capon has reached 250 appearances in the yellow and blue.
Wow.
Which puts him into the top 10 appearance holders for Eastbourne Town in history. A history that is the oldest in Sussex, actually, 1881. So, well done, Aaron Capon. Yeah, massively. Massive one. He celebrated with an assist as well for the winner. So, excellent.
Superb. Gaz?
No, I ain't got anything, mate. I think I have one, but I can't find it.
1 word, 2 words? YouTube?
social.
that come next. You put shout out and then you put YouTube.
I haven't done a banner, but there we go.
Okay, well, yeah, YouTube.
Go
And follow us on YouTube, guys. Go and follow us on YouTube at the SNLF podcast. Doing all right, considering I only put about 7 little shorts up. I am going to try and figure out how to use my little gimbal and put some longer form content up there. But I can't. I need a mic lesson on that because I'm going to fly out the window after trying to use it on Saturday. It's causing me stress. But I will start using it, and then I will try and do like a longer form content. And I potentially might have got my first food guy kitchen as well coming up.
Oh, really? Where's that?
Ooh. I'm not going to say it on here until it's fully signed off, am I? I'm not a complete fool, and I don't go shouting about stuff before it's fully completed.
All right, Tommy.
Don't tell me about
that. How many times did I tell you, Mike? How many times?
But now there's light. There is light with the time.
Yeah, it's not too far from me, but it's not a club that I go to regularly. That'll give you a little bit of a clue.
Oh, there we go. Little teaser. Any more?
Yeah, shout out to NSA. Their new drop is here. New hats are out. New shirts as well. I can't get them. The Moon, man. I love the Moon. It's good quality. We get all the we get Noah's website out. They've supported us, so we get out there and support them. But yeah, and shout out to peace and harmony in the Sussex County Leagues after the drama over the last few days and that. Peace.
Lovely. Well, I've got a couple. Harry Forster at Crowborough joined the 150 club, and Ryan Lovenden at Eastbourne United into the 100 appearance club.
Love that.
So congratulations to those two. I'm going to shout out my new website as well, which is 99% ready.
But you just said don't shout anything out till it's done.
Well, it's 99% ready, and it's the 1%, which is my unique selling point. That is the one bit I'm waiting for. But you can go and check it out if you want.
It's all right, actually. I'm always one to shit on what Trev does, just as a really good friend that I am.
Indeed.
But we sat there for what, about 40 minutes last night? Half an hour, 40 minutes?
Yeah, about half an hour last night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's decent, guys. Go and check it out. What are you shaking your head at, Mike?
A friend in me. I can imagine. Friend in me.
I stayed up. I was prepared to go to bed at 8 o'clock last night, right? I was prepared to go to bed at 8 o'clock last night because I was knackered. And I waited up. Even so, you can tell I was knackered because it took me about 15 minutes after Trev told me he was ready to go and get my laptop. And it was only about 6 foot away from me.
These guys support it. The guy is an award-winning editor in the non-league game now. So everyone's got
and runner-up to the non-league paper, which isn't no mean feat. That ain't no mean feat considering their circulation. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Was it against non-league Bible?
No, that was in the other category. They won.
Yeah, but go and support him because he is an award winner. Go and check out his actual writing. It's very good, is it not, Trev?
It is indeed. So it's www.footballwriting.com. You can still use code.uk because that directs across to it. Once everything is up and ready, there's a video coming out to explain exactly why the move, what it is, what the break the mold is all about as well. But until that part's ready, I ain't breaking any molds. So it should have been ready Monday. Hopefully it's going to be ready this evening. In a way, I'm hoping it isn't actually ready till Friday because I ain't got any time tonight or tomorrow to actually sort it out because I've got other stuff
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I hope so. It's going to be a new logo. His new logo is incredible, isn't it?
Only because you created it, apparently. Yeah, it is good. It is good, I'll have to say. Even though he hasn't actually done it himself, something actually did it for him.
No. You can't say I haven't done it myself, mate, because all these graphic designers that are paid thousands are going to be out of work soon because of my mate chat.
Probably, as it goes.
100%.
Anyway, as soon as it's ready, I'll have it out there and you'll know exactly what's going on. Like I say, it should break the mold because I haven't seen anything like what I wanted to do anywhere, and I've been trying to find somewhere probably for the last 4 years to do it as well. So hopefully it all works, and you'll understand what the breaking the mold is when it's ready. Right. Let's get to the last bit then, where we head in the next few days, weeks, months, years. Mike, have you allowed any football, or are you on a sabbatical again?
Of course I'm allowed football. I'm allowed football whenever I want to go out to football. Unless the wife says I'm
Unless you're banned.
Yeah.
Mike, is your wife sat just over here?
No, she's watching.
She's watching.
No, that's me done now till I've actually got to do my real job. And actually, I'm going away to work out in America, so I won't be going to football for a couple of weeks.
There we go.
It is Vegas.
The sabbatical is on.
It is Vegas, though.
Yeah, gotta love Vegas. Chris?
Like I said, I'm looking for something somewhat more local than Margate away. So I'm thinking Dieppe. No, it'll probably be Ringmer. Might be Lewis, White Oak, but probably Ringmer. But we'll see. I have done Ringmer before this, like already this season with Gaz. So maybe I'll do something else. But yeah, Ringmer's the favourite at the minute.
Gaz?
Flying Fortress.
Oh, I've heard they're a naughty firm. They're a naughty firm, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that Flying Fortress.
If it all takes off.
Yeah. Flying Fortress on Saturday, and then I'm looking for somewhere to go Tuesday. I might go Pagham Hayward Heath, to be fair.
Be some game.
Okay.
Some game that'll be.
Maybe Pagham Hayward Heath on Tuesday. I might do football on Saturday, but it'll be a last minute job if I do. I'll be honest with you, I'm finding it really hard to go and watch a game of football at the moment. I'm struggling.
What?
Bognor at home. That's probably the closest to Flying Fortress.
Arundel at home.
Gareth, what's up? Tell me.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm finding it hard to go and watch games at the moment. So I'll pick out one a week. I don't know. I go through this phase every winter, to be fair. It's probably just because I get too fucking cold. But
alarm bells ringing.
No, I'm not going anywhere. Don't you worry. Okay. I enjoy my burgers too.
No, you've just said you're not going anywhere.
Right.
Hey, guys, you could do Arundel for a change. They're at home.
Chris.
Okay,
You
Flying Fortress
go
as well.
to Eastbourne Town week in, week out, and then when Eastbourne Town you can't even got a game you go to, you pick out somewhere random. I don't know, like Ringmer.
New Haven, yeah, done it before. I don't know what you want. I'm trying to expand my horizons. Broaden, that's the word. Broaden my horizons.
I tell you what, Chris, why don't you get the train to work then, and I'll take you to Arundel.
Well, why don't you just go and get the train to Arundel then, mate?
Get the train to Arundel. So to get the train to Arundel, you've got to change, haven't you? You've got to go forward and then change it forward.
True.
Yeah, you do actually. Yeah,
I'd have to change anyway, though. I'd have to change at Brighton anyway.
Well, I'm not picking up from Brighton. Sorry.
No. I'm not saying you do, but that is tempting.
Now he's thinking about it.
I am.
Well, anyway,
and they're playing Copthorne, so we can see how many
they should take some goals, shouldn't you?
Yeah, they're still knocking around, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Right, before we came on air this evening, I was pricing up a little football weekend of heading to...
Where are you going, Trev?
Where am I going? Hang on. It's in the, let me just throw that comment up first. I guess there we go. Jolly Boys outing.
Oh, yes. I mean...
There we go. Right, so I was pricing up before we come on air to go and watch Brentwood against Dulwich on Saturday afternoon.
Shout out Toby
Ball. Yeah, shout out Toby Ball. I've had someone invite me up to go and watch Brentwood, which would be quite decent as they've been really good this year and one of the unfancied sides. And then a little overnight stay somewhere, maybe towards kind of Norwichy, Wroxham kind of way, and then Great Yarmouth and Hayward Heath on Sunday afternoon.
Are you going to do it?
And then back in time for the NFL divisional games in the evening. What a weekend, eh? What a weekend. What a weekend, eh?
Well, you're getting that little one close to your chest, didn't you?
Not
Well-
too close because I knew about it.
You take my seat on the coach then, because I can't go, can I?
Why would I want to go on the coach? I'm going to Brentwood first on the Saturday.
Oh, you're doing that?
Yeah. See, I'm going part the way there, watching that
Well,
game.
even more.
Exactly. See, but I've been working out how to try and get Brentwood in because it's not too far from my mum's without doing a double journey up there one Saturday and then again on the Sunday, and then it ties in quite nicely. Had Wroxham have been at home, but they're away at Bowers, I'd have gone and watched Wroxham on the Saturday, and then the Yarmouth game on the Sunday.
Haven't you got to go past Bowers? So can't you go and watch Bowers and then go to?
No, because I want to watch Wroxham at Wroxham. I've also been invited there as well. So,
Yeah,
but again,
that's
that's a journey and a half to do, as you know, Mike, because you've been all the way up there anyway.
Yeah, I didn't remember much on the way home. But...
So, but I'm still pricing it up at the moment, but it looks like it's affordable and doable. So I think that will do for the weekend.
Oh, at least you then get the game will get good coverage if you do go up there, because I gave it absolutely no coverage.
Well,
I thought you weren't you?
Yeah, I thought you got lost because you didn't even message us all afternoon until we're stuck, can't get out, fog, and we're like, yeah, we knew that 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
when we saw it.
No comment.
Is it? No, never is. Right, that's about it from us this evening. 1,210 of you watching this evening is a little bit of numbers in it. It's a little bit better than some teams' average attendance in some divisions, isn't it?
That is
most of
better than Eastbourne Borough's average attendance this season.
Might be about that, yeah. Roughly about 1,200, yeah.
Sorry.
But brilliant. Yeah, great numbers. Thank you very much for watching. And no doubt some of you will download and listen to the podcast on Thursday as well. If you want to get in touch with us, we're on X at the SNLF and Facebook, the snlf.co.uk. And Gaz, you are on?
Instagram is at the snlf.co.uk. I think I changed the home name to that, the SNLF. So, yeah, the snlf.co.uk. TikTok is the snlf.co.uk. And YouTube is the SNLF podcast.
There we go. And Chris Pryor, you are with an underscore.
Chris Pryor.
Indeed, you are. And Mike is in the dugout.
Yeah.
If you want to find him, get in touch with him. Just look for a dugout somewhere.
Look for a big D in the sky.
Preferably not at Peacehaven, because Gaz was shocked at how far they were apart from each other.
Oh my God, they are so far apart.
Yeah, they are.
Are you talking about the actual dugouts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's different postcodes, mate.
That video has had 1,600 on Instagram. It's had 1,200 on TikTok and 1,400 on YouTube. That video has done best part of 5,000 views since Saturday.
There you go.
Nice.
See, simple things.
And here's me trying to put together like 2-minute highlight packages. I may as well not fucking bother. They struggle less to get 800.
Listen, what you've got to try and do, is find a fox to nick a bib on a playing field, and that'll get you around about 1 million. Look out for it. But you might have to attend. You might have to attend a game to do that, though.
Oh, back off.
And that was in Hastings, to be fair, which is basically another country.
Oh, fuck. Hastings? God, no chance.
Even I can't be bothered with Hastings, and I'm going there.
It's like an hour and a half for me.
Look at these people dissing Sussex clubs. Shocking.
No, not
You
this.
don't get it. Right, everyone, enjoy your next 7 days of football if you're heading anywhere, and we'll see you again next Wednesday evening.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care. Good night.